Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream.
It's huge.
We're here.
Who dares?
And now we can do the recap.
Okay. Anybody and everybody would like to go ahead and start giving some recap. Let's go ahead and go for it. What do we got?
If I remember correctly, we started off at the Nevermore, which is that hotel, and Carissa and Balthazar had a conversation, like a little heart to heart, about what's going on and what their next, the next leg of their adventure was going to be, and also about what they were going to do with Lorik. And Lorik ran off to go talk with that priest. I don't remember. Adrian, and had a whole like tense moment where they were like discussing what exactly was going to happen with him. And I don't remember exactly what the decision was, other than that they were kind of like not actively trying to kill each other.
Yeah, I don't know if he really filled you guys in on exactly what that whole conversation turned into.
Oh yeah, I have. Balthazar and Carissa have no idea because he hasn't talked to us yet. And then he came back to the Nevermore, and we ran into our new party members. If you guys want to fill in who you guys are.
I guess I'll go. I don't know why I thought Icarus was gonna come in, because they were the one to come in first before me. Oh, how dare you! Come on. Yes.
It's mid-bite, so I said no.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna stick to my character and say no.
How dare.
That's the best thing you should do in improv, is always give a hard no, right? That's how you get the best results.
Yes,
sure.
that is how you do. Okay, so Ilocos is a Aasimar, who, how do I describe them? I don't really know.
Mysterious magic man.
Yeah.
Person thing.
Little guy. Little dude.
Little? How tall are they?
No, you know what? 6 foot tall. Not a little guy.
Actually, wait a minute.
Mysterious magic man.
JK. Little big guy. Little guy at heart, you know? Deep inside.
He's a child.
Yeah, they're a wonderful little being. Sorry, I got Chick-fil-A sauce.
They're not.
So they're currently following Eva. Is it Eva? Eva?
You can pronounce it either or. She particularly doesn't mind, but you will hear her. Well, probably here in the next future, you will hear her sister say Eva.
Okay. 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 So your character, following your character, just very, very silent, not speaking. They're just kind of moseying along for the ride.
Yeah, you could just say Eva. It's fine. It's fine.
I default to Eva, so that's why.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Eva.
Gitche. Eva.
Oh, me. Sorry. Huh.
That would be the next move, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm here. Let's see. Eva comes in, sort of on her own little mission to gather everyone that's in this inn by her sister of the Drake Wardens, and Ilocos being a person of many words, just grunts and nods at me and shrugs. And we finally make it to the room where Carissa and Balthazar and Lorik are at. Except Lorik goes and fucking hides in a painting for whatever reason. Reason only
he's
he knows.
He's a strange duck. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. Carissa's told us to wait out in the foyer. I said, no, we're gonna wait here, outside the door.
Mhm.
And Balthazar attempts to friendly, coarsely move us out of the way, touches me, and I freaked out. And told him to fall.
And I did.
No touchy. That's
No
right.
touchy.
Exactly. So we pick up back in this moment. I should say another thing that kind of happened off screen was that Carissa dove into the painting after Lorik, immediately after closing the door and being like, I'm gonna go figure this out. So both of those players are currently somewhere. Balthazar, you are out in the hallway with Ava and Ilukas.
Mhm.
What is kind of the vibe here? I know that you were kind of restricted against your own will in the last kind of scene of the last episode. What is Balthazar probably thinking, or like, what are you going through at the moment? Let's
Oh, Balthazar is 100% thinking, how can I get one over on Eva? Because, as we all know, Balthazar does not do well being humiliated. So, Balthazar is on his knees and just asked if he could get back up. Eva?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, I was just trying to clear my throat off screen.
You're good.
I look down and kind of give a little sigh and say, yes, if you must.
Wonderful. Ilukas, would you mind? And I reach out my hand.
Ilukas is just gonna look at your hand, look back at your face, look back at your hand, and then like shake their head a little bit.
Gotta touch.
Very well.
No touching.
These old bones of mine. Balthazar slowly gets back to his feet, kind of like brushes off his knees, and then says, so what exactly is it that we're wanted for?
Eva just kind of brushes her hair off to her side and it's not what you're wanted for. Just above board, do I know what the fuck they're wanted for?
You can give me a let's call it a history check. Just see if your sister told you.
Might as well do it on alchemy.
Alchemy.
Ooh, 13.
I don't think your sister would have gone into too many specifics, but you understand that you use the term wanted because you want it to sound cool. They're not wanted for anything. They are being summoned for a hearing.
Okay.
And that is very much different, right? Like being wanted and having to like stand trial for a crime is completely different than like being summoned for a hearing.
Yeah, that's true.
And so like earlier when you showed up and you were like, yeah, you're wanted, so you're coming with me. I was like, so
yeah, phrasing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That,
upon reflection, I think this is where you come to. I don't think it's against Ava's character though to be like, yeah, you're wanted. Like, what the fuck do you know?
yeah, don't.
But yeah, so I think upon reflection, even though you don't have all the specifics, you understand that they are being like summoned for a hearing.
Oh, she kind of, upon like remembering this, she clears her throat. maybe, maybe what I said was not the right term. You're actually are summoned to for a hearing. At least that's what my sister told me.
Well, if that's all, then perhaps I can assist you in some ways. What if I could more easily get our little band there? Would that be of interest to you?
Little band? She blinks at you. But you can't
Oh
really
yes, I
see
can.
it.
I can make things very easy for you.
How so?
Well, I mean, I'm quite good at moving things around. And while Balthazar is explaining this to you, I put my quote unquote ear to the door to hear if anything's going on inside.
You don't hear any noise.
Wonderful. I put my bowler hat back on and I open the door.
The room is surprisingly empty.
As in, there's no furniture, or as in, there's no people.
There's no people. I mean,
Okay.
obviously there's furniture and stuff, but
Yes, everything is
I'm
gone.
opposed. Building is kind of odd, so
could you imagine?
I would be like, I don't know how to help the situation.
I can't fix this, actually. I just realized.
Ding dong.
Hello.
Welcome.
Balthazar kindly gives a little bow and says, "Come on in."
You takes a step and looks back at Ilocos, as in to also beckon them.
Ilocos then just peeks their head in a little bit, kind of like looks around, like warily steps into the room.
We don't have a lot of time here, so come on.
Okay. Oh,
Now, you see, my other two companions are a bit of, shall we say, rebels. They like to get themselves into trouble, and then I, of course, have to help them get out of the trouble. Balthazar is wandering over to the painting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you see, they both do this quite often, actually. They're really well known for it. I remove the painting from the wall, and I begin rolling it up.
what are you doing?
So you bust the painting out of its frame and
Yeah.
roll it up? Okay. Just give me a sleight of hand to kind of do this without damaging the painting in any way.
Sleight of hand. All right, here we go. It's a 16.
So 16. I mean, there's a slight amount of damage to like the canvas that was like pinned down by the edges of this frame. But describe to me how Balthazar takes the frame and everything off the wall and breaks the frame apart and pulls the canvas from the piece of wood that kind of binds it to this painting.
Okay, so most paintings are actually held into those frames by these clips in the back.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna just very gently kind of pull those clips out.
Okay.
So that way the main the ornate part around it kind of comes loose. And then I'm going to very gently start removing the staples from the back of or tacks. They should be tacks at this point. I'm removing the tacks from the back of the painting and then rolling it up.
Okay. You begin to roll up this painting.
And the whole time I'm doing this, I'm orating. I'm explaining my two wayward companions.
Cool. It takes a brief second, but you watch as Balthazar reaches up onto a wall, pulls a very pretty looking painting, utterly destroys the frame and then removes the painting from the frame, and begins rolling the painting up.
And did you explain that they're in there? Did you also explain that to us?
Balthazar? No, he hasn't
No?
explained that yet.
Okay. So she's just going to, and why are we taking the painting?
Well, I'm speeding up our travel. You see, if I were to remove my companions from the painting before we did this, it would take 45 minutes, and we don't really have that time. I would very much like to leave town, and I've been telling them this for days now. Days! And I believe if I assist you, you can assist me in getting them to leave.
You will leave after the hearing, correct?
Of course, I'm like moving towards you as I'm rolling up the painting. I
take
go
a
to reach
step
up my
back.
hand. I reach up my hand and go. I quickly like kind of like awkwardly put it behind my back. Like I would never even dare to think of leaving town without meeting your lovely sister.
And a few other of the Warden Drakes, I'm assuming. She did not really tell me a lot.
Balthazar's eye kind of like does like one of those like exaggerated rolls. He's like, of course. Here, I give you the painting. A sign of goodwill.
You can go grab onto it.
Now, one more thing. I pulled up a piece of chalk. If you two would stand over there for me.
Over. She takes a step.
Just over there behind the carpet.
Oh, okay.
Balthazar kicks the carpet out of the way and draws a big old circle in the ground and starts like etching out runes. All right, now come stand inside the circle.
She narrows her eyes. Ooh, what is this?
Either
This
of
is
you
a
can make a
teleportation
check.
circle.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
It's a what?
Don't worry, just come stand inside. Ilukas, you know what this is.
I'll
of
make
course.
an Arcana.
Okay.
All right. Now, I haven't done this in a while, so hold on tight.
Both of you, before you guys step into the circle, you guys can see that this, while it was drawn in chalk, has been inlaid with some sort of latent magic. Elikas, you would know this is some form of a teleportation spell of some kind. And Ava, you would know this is probably a very close approximation to a teleportation circle. You're unsure of what the destination target circle is for this particular spell. Usually the thing you would know about this spell is that you have to pick a circle that you know of, and then you can teleport to that place.
Mhm.
Doing it this way is a bit interesting because either Balthazar knows of a teleportation somewhere near the courthouse or something else. Like, you're unaware of where this is taking you, but you do understand this is a teleportation circle.
All right. She begrudgingly steps into the circle. Like, I don't trust a lot of people instantly, but I will take your word on this.
I mean, I'm inside the circle too. If something bad happens, we're all dead.
That does not help me. Balthazar, was it?
That's correct.
Does not help me, Balthazar.
Excuse me. Are we all in?
There's Elokos.
Elokos is like right before the circle, just like looking it over, studying it, just kind of watching, real hesitant on getting into it. But they'll step into it and just kind of keep an eye on what's gonna go on.
Okay. As everyone begins to step into the circle, Balthazar, you can cast a spell whenever you're ready.
Now, I do hope none of you have motion sickness. Balthazar reaches out his hand, and both of you guys are magic users, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is the sound of 1,000 locusts just flapping their wings. This constant scuttling, scraping hum as Balthazar reaches out his hand outside the circle and gently grabs onto like a little tiny golden thread.
Elikas, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Now, this might sting a little bit.
Hold on, I can't find it.
Balthazar starts to
Wisdom.
pull
Oh.
the thread towards himself, and you can see that he's struggling to hold on to it.
Ooh.
Oh,
Red-
snap.
Elikas, you understand in
Uh-huh.
this moment exactly what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You watch as Balthazar begins to grip the fibers or the very being of the weave. And you can see that Balthazar gives no care for maintaining the weave while casting. Like a lot of people will, in some good way in practice, try to make sure that they aren't like damaging the weave when they cast a spell. Balthazar seems to actively rend the weave in ways that are dangerous. If a potentially high-level spell was cast and it was Balthazar's doing, there might be some ramifications and damage that occur because of this. But all the same, you save from this effect of feeling compelled to do something to stop it.
The runes and circle around you guys begins to burn into the floor. You see that Balthazar's hands begin to glow like red, white hot as he begins to pull this thread closer and closer to him, and he just says, "Now keep your hands and arms inside the circle," and he snaps the thread. And there is like that scuttling, prickly, like insect-like sound. Suddenly starts to grow and grow and grow, and then there's just total silence. And for a brief moment, you can't feel the weave. And we are now at the courthouse.
To answer your question, Bragan, sorry, just a quick. We are swapping to alchemy for everybody at home, so people have questions, and I just want to answer them out loud. As far as I'm aware, right, the note section is for you personally, and the journal is kind of a location where I can drop stuff for you, but it's also a place where you can keep notes and tabs on things. Is that correct, Lark?
Yes.
Yes.
Journal's
Okay.
public, but it's private.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Cool. Alrighty then. Ava, everybody appears all at once. Suddenly, you guys arrive within the courthouse. You guys appear within the center circle of this inter sanctum of the courthouse here. You can see that there is a brilliant glowing runic pattern on the floor that looks just like the one Balthazar drew back inside the the chapel. You guys in this image here would have appeared kind of in the center of these like staircases that have like arisen in that like circle there. And this seems to be maybe like a location that has been deemed the like teleportation hub of this courthouse. But yes, you guys arrive in the center of this this circle. Gone in a flash, and then instantly you arrive. You all begin to look around. The courthouse is large. The look and appeal of this place. These walls that you can see are made of marble. There is some destruction. The courthouse does appear to have some of these like destroyed bits on the one side. It seems like the previous events of the last week or so have taken its toll. The cracks within the marble and things have occurred due to huge amounts of seismic activity. And you guys begin to look around and see this place in its state. As you guys, arrive in this place. What does everyone do?
All right. This never took a teleportation circle before, but that was interesting. Very well. I believe she looks around. This way. Yes. Sorry, the teleportation circle really threw me in for a loop.
Would you like me to look you over and see if there's any residual effects?
She hugs the painting tightly, not realizing that that's in her arms, and just, no, thank you.
Well, suit yourself. Balthazar casts mending on his like burning sleeve.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you watch as he puts out a flame that's been doused onto his arm. As you guys begin to look around, you guys can see that there are within these areas there is kind of a promenading staircase that leads up to it's like a doorway that potentially seems to lead to the outside, and then the place that you guys have teleported to, you guys can see there's a bunch of smaller doorways in front of you on these like areas where the staircases rise up and stand over. You understand that these are like antechambers to courtrooms. Ava, you would know that the one you want to go through is the big grand staircase doorway in front of you guys, like on this same level. If that's where you want to lead everyone, you can. If anybody wants to do anything else in this area, go ahead and let us know.
Balthazar's cool to just see what's going on.
That's
Is-
basically.
I was just gonna ask a question.
Mhm.
Are two of them still not physically present?
They are not physically present, correct?
Okay. I don't have anything. Go ahead, Emma.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I'll just lead y'all the way to find her sister, wherever she needs to go.
Cool. Do you make any small talk or conversation while you walk them through the courthouse?
The silence is deafening.
I mean, Balthazar's happy to just see what's going on. Like, at this point, it's all up to Illikas and Eva.
I was gonna say my character doesn't really make small talk.
let's see.
A bunch of little chatty individuals. I see.
And
Very.
if Balthazar notices that Illikas isn't saying something, Balthazar will say something to Illikas.
Yeah, no, Illikas, whenever we teleported in, they're definitely taken aback a little bit at what they witnessed, about the weave and everything. Kind of not vibing, not chill with what happened, but won't do anything about it. Just kind of observing still. Just yeah.
To give you a reference, Illikas, with your save that you made, you managed to instantly understand what type of caster Balthazar is. Balthazar is like a sorcerer of a kind, but not in the way that like is a sorcerer who tries to understand the weave and use it in like a responsible kind of way. He is effectively a hedge mage, someone who has rent their magic from a place of like actively wanting to make sure that they, you know, become as powerful as possible, and they don't really care how.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you kind of gained that vibe without really having to work too hard at it.
Oh, yeah. I kind of gathered that from the ripping. But yes.
Yeah, I would just say that you learned specifically that he is what you would call a hedge mage.
Hedge mage.
Which is like a nasty like word for people who
yeah,
don't necessarily learn magic the right way.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, you guys go ahead and begin heading through the courthouse. The footfalls that you guys make are loud in this quiet place. And it seems pretty quiet within the halls of the courthouse. Like there's not a lot of activity. as you guys begin to come into the courthouse, let me finish something here real quick. You guys can jump over to the tactical mode, and you guys can begin to see the interworkings of what is basically assumed to be the Blue Crown Courthouse. And you guys would start at the far end of the room over here. Let me grab some of your player models and throw them up on the board here real quick. So we'll throw Chris on there. Elikos. Why is Elikos not appearing? Hello?
Hello.
That's interesting. Oh, there we go. And you guys should have access to your tokens as well. So, you know, have fun running around. Did I get everybody? Is everybody on there? Oh, why didn't you appear? What the hell? Hello? What?
Hello.
I'm trying to drop you on the fucking map.
Oh.
Ah.
Wait.
Wait, where is Elikos? Oh, there you are.
Ah, why did I try to refresh?
Yeah, I think it killed your character model. It's pretty interesting.
Oh,
Hold
that's
on.
Weird.
Let me grab your template quick for the grenade section.
Is it possible you don't have a size set for the tactical section?
That's probably true.
What the hell?
That was added today.
Well, that worked. So I don't know.
Oh, I can't grab my miniature. That's weird.
You can't grab your miniature?
Yeah. Oh, wait, there we go. Yeah, interesting.
There, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Well, as you guys enter this courtroom, you guys can see, Ava, you know this is where you're supposed to bring everybody. Looks like you guys are a little early. You can see that the room looks exactly like this to scale. And there is a large swath of seating that looks to have like, you know, random assortments of maybe like legalese and paperwork. Ava, you know that your sister probably would want them to come and sit kind of in, now how do is there a way for me to ping? I haven't done it from this side. Yeah, somewhere in this area.
Okay, I was like, that way?
Yeah. Just like within the like the
The
kind of
circle.
defendant's square or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like there's a couple of like green like sofas in that area.
Yes.
That you think that was probably like where they would need to sit. And you bring everybody in. Carissa and Lorik, you guys are still in a painting, so I'm gonna hold you guys off the map for a minute. But don't worry, we'll get back to you. Elikos and Balthazar, you guys can follow Ava around. You guys can explore whatever you guys would like to do in the room.
Balthazar kind of has both of his arms, like, kind of like behind his back.
Okay.
As
Are
he's
you talking
walking-
both in alchemy and
No? I don't know where that's coming from.
Carissa.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. No worries. Just wanted to make sure.
Let me fix it real quick.
You're good. No worries.
So-
Cool. What you got, Balthazar? Sorry.
Okay.
Was just distracted for a second.
Balthazar's walking next to Elikos and just kind of like looks his head over towards Elikos. And by the way, so when Balthazar kind of like moves, there's definitely a lot more rotation, a lot more exaggerated kind of movement, as though he's kind of being pulled along. So when he kind of like turns his head, it's like a full 90-degree kind of like turn, very unnatural, as he's looking over at Elikos. And he just kind of says to them, I feel like you have something to say to me. You seem very unnerved. I wonder why.
Elikos just gives a little bit of a side eye and shakes their head and just keeps walking.
Ah, I see a strong silent type. I very much admire strong silent types. Eva, the painting, please.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. She hands it to you.
Right. Now, I will warn you, my friend Lorik is a bit of a wild card. But that's why we like him. He's spicy. I undo the painting and gently lay it on the floor.
I'll make sure to keep an eye on him.
So you unroll the painting on the floor?
Yeah.
Nothing happens. You just kind of open it up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just open a painting.
Right. Now, this may take them a few minutes. Balthazar goes over and sits down. So, the painting's right here in the middle of the room.
Oh, are you just going to leave it there?
Well, I can't make them leave the painting.
What?
Look, I can do half the work. I brought them here.
Well,
I mean, I can try classy dispel magic on it, but I have a feeling that might kill them.
no, my sister wants them alive. Please. Do we just wait?
Do I know if casting dispel magic on the painting would kill them?
I don't think you would understand the effects of that unless you go ahead and just do it.
Based on previous experience, when I cast a spell magic, bad stuff happens. So, I think I'll just wait and see what happens.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, thankfully we are early, so just starts tapping on her arms.
Yeah.
Balthazar is gonna go ahead and pull out his eyeglass and is gonna gently put it on his singular eye.
Okay. So you put a monocle on. Are you examining the painting, or are we just sitting and waiting for something to happen?
I'm just sitting and waiting for something to happen. I'm assuming that Lorik is gonna try and do some bullshit. So,
Elikas, what are you up to in this courtroom? Are you wandering around looking at stuff, or you just kind of hanging out with everybody else?
So, kind of just being chilling, but I do kind of want to inspect the painting and its properties,
Okay.
if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me how would you like to inspect the painting? What type of information are you trying to glean about it?
Magical.
Magical information. Okay. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check then.
Okay. Motherfucker. Oh, wait, that's good. Forgot I'm not on my other character.
Cool. So with a modified 20, you sit down and you look at this painting. You know a couple of things right off the bat. Somebody used, instead of using regular paint, acrylics and things to paint this painting, it looks like somebody who had arcane experience spent a grand deal of time infusing the paint with magic itself to make the painting in an effect sort of magical. You can see that just the way the waves even shimmer, the painting almost moves as you look at it. The waves slowly lap into the center of the painting towards the ship, and towards the shoreline in the distance, that you can see. The sun in this painting has risen just slightly since the painting was grabbed off the wall. There is a setting of time to this thing almost. So you just by looking at it know it's innately magical. And there seems to be some sort of special magical effect that people can gain by attempting to enter this painting. You're not sure whether the effect is harmful or whatnot, but you do understand that the effect is, for the most part, harmless unless you engage with the painting and jump within, then you're unsure of how dangerous the effect might be. What other types of information would you think to want to understand about the painting? You rolled a 20, so I'm not gonna like withhold a bunch of stuff from you, but just want to kind of get you in the right headspace.
Could I theoretically put my head in and still be able to pull it out, or is like one
You
part of
think
my
once
being
you
taken
place, yeah, you think that placing yourself somewhere within the painting, like trying to go in, will pull you all the way in.
Okay, never mind.
So there is like the potential to maybe take a look around, but at great risk to you if you fail on a subsequent saving throw.
I'm good. I'm good. I think I'm just going to intake the information and then just wait for them to come out, because I don't think I would be able to get them out unless I go in, and I don't want to do that because I don't know it.
Fair enough. So you are going to sit tight right here, and that's all good. Ava, what are you up to while you're hanging out in the courtroom waiting for your sister to show up?
I'm kind of just observing the two very closely. Seeing Ilokas. I'm assuming you got up to look at the painting.
Yes.
I'm observing them just moving to the painting, observing Balthazar putting on his monocule and just kind of, she's bouncing her leg like she is anxiously just waiting. She's wondering like what's like exactly what's gonna happen. Why are they here? How the hell did these two get into a painting, for one?
Yeah, how did they do that?
She's never seen this magic before. She's not even certain she read it in her books before.
Yeah. Do you want to give me some sort of like magical arcana or history check of some kind? To see if you can remember anything about like what this might be?
She can definitely try, cause she's not smart. Surprisingly. Let's see. Okay. Let's just do history. Fail me now. 16.
A 16. So you begin to look at the painting, and on a 16, it's unclear to you what types of magical like thing this is. But you do understand that in the same way that Ilikos kind of gleaned, this thing is like a gateway of some kind. Like you could jump into it if you wanted to. But you are unsure of what spell has been cast to make this a thing. And unlike Ilikos, you cannot see the painting move. The painting still appears like a still image to you. To Ilikos, this painting is a moving thing. The waves and stuff move on the sheet, or the piece of canvas. So there is that as well.
Balthazar.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where did you get this painting?
I mean, you saw me get it. It was
yes,
off the wall.
But where was it always there? Did one of them take it? Bring it with them?
I mean, it was in Lorik's room. I imagine has some connection to Lorik, but I haven't the foggiest.
Has he always jumped in this painting to hide?
I mean, I saw it literally 30 minutes before you did.
So just once. Let's see. And what are they doing in there?
Or Carissa. It was in Carissa's room. Excuse me.
That is true. It was in Chris's room specifically. Yeah. I mean, any number of things could be going on within the painting. So it's a valid question.
Would you like me to yell at the painting?
She kind of got a little sly smile there, and then it quickly just fades. I don't think that will work. Would it?
Balthazar shrugs, gets up, walks over to the painting, and says, "Hello there, Lorik! You wily devil! Why don't you get out here and meet our new friends?"
You yell at the painting, and to much avail, nothing else happens. But I think I can do this. Coming in from the door behind you, the doorway opens to see 3 figures enter. There is an older man who has like white styled hair, and he's wearing a fine blue suit. Next to him, there's a man in a like black suit with a red tie and a stiff white collar. He's wearing a long pea coat that goes down to like right above his knees. And you see that he is wearing like what is like considered like business attire, if you will. And then next to both of them is your sister, Ava. Would you please describe your sister to everyone within the room?
Oh, where's my notebook? I wrote it down here. Ah. Okay. Blair is wearing what appears to be a steel breastplate with a coat wielding the Drake Warden's logo behind. She is a staggering height of 6 foot and some odd inches. She is a Lupin. She is fiercely kind of a mix of like wolf. And where the fuck are my notes of her? Like I'm trying to find.
You're all good. You're all good. Take your time.
You are.
Lorik, rest assured, you don't have any idea of how you would have appeared here, unless someone spills the beans.
That's good for the rest of the party.
And I assume that Balthazar probably would have asked that the rest of you don't tell Lorik how he got here. But who knows? Anyway, take it away.
Yes. Yeah, Blair is of white and gray fur. Her eyes of a piercing. I want to say I said yellow, but I did not record that. Or was it red? I don't remember. But I think now, over the years of her being a warden, she has a scar going across her snout, of the bridge of her snout. And for one, she's still very caring, at least to me, but at this moment she is very stern. Very in warrior mode.
Gotcha.
At attention, I guess is how you would say.
Tell me how she makes other people feel.
Ooh. She makes them kind of respect her at first glance. Like, I don't know, she gets this aura around her that you look at her, it's like, you have my respect regardless of what you say. Like, she's very inspirational, and she has an authoritarian attitude about her. Not in a bad way, but in a way where if you were in battle, you would definitely trust your life with her.
Okay. The rest of you look to see a entourage of people enter the room. As I mentioned before, there is a young man who's in a sharp getup. There is an older man who seems to be wearing a much more expensive suit. And then there is the figure that we've just described, which is Blair, which is Ava's sister. The three of these people enter the room and they begin to make their way towards the upper echelon of the courthouse here. You all would have heard the door open on the far end, and they seem to be briefly discussing something as they enter this room here, as they make their way forward. Is there any sort of checks or things?
Balthazar will get to his feet and give like a little bow. He'll take his hat off and give a little deference.
Cool.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
You're good. Go ahead.
Just the same thing. She quickly got up on her feet to prepare to greet her sister.
As you guys start to stand up to greet them, they arrive towards the front of this area where the bench is located. And you see that your sister Blair looks at the other two individuals and looks around and goes, "Oh, and just like I mentioned, Ava probably would beat us here, but Ava, hello. It looks like you managed to get a couple of the people I sent you to find. Did you have trouble finding the other ones?"
About the other ones, Blair. And she glances over at Balthazar and she takes a side step and points at the painting that's on the ground.
So you grabbed a painting? Okay. I'm not sure how that helps us. But
your forgiveness, ma'am. They appear to be trapped in the painting. A mere accident on their part. They walked into it.
Who's trapped in the painting?
My compatriots. The other two you requested.
Oh. Okay. She's gonna roll a check real quick. I knew I should have busted these out earlier. It's okay. Wasn't sure if we'd get to rolling too many dice tonight, but that's fine. Okay. Blair looks at you and goes, "Oh, okay. Well, we might as well just let them figure it out. And we'll go from there. While we're at it, Oz," she points over to the young man who's dressed in the sharp black suit. "Oz, please meet the rest of our compatriots here. Ava, as I mentioned before, is my younger sister, and she's here visiting." She then points over to Elikas, who is sitting on one of the benches, and goes, "And this is our mysterious individual that was invited as a direct appellant to you, Mr. Blue Crown." Blue Crown Senior looks over, gives a slight nod to Elikas, and then she turns and points to Balthazar, and and she goes, "And the last of these individuals, it seems that we're missing a couple of them, but we at least have, I'm sorry, what was your name again?"
Is she gesturing towards me?
Yeah.
Balthazar, ma'am. Balthazar.
Mr. Balthazar. So anyway, I guess we can maybe do some initial screening while we wait for some of the other individuals to arrive. And perhaps maybe get some of this on the move. Ava, did you inform them of why they're here, or do I still need to give them the written contract?
He begins to nod. You should... Yes, the contract, sister.
And she goes, "Oh, okay, cool, no worries." You see that she pulls out what is like a binder or folder, and begins to scroll through and find a slip of paper. And Ava begins to walk over and pass them out. Ava walks up to Balthazar, hands you a slip of paper, and then makes her way over to Ilikas and hands them a piece of paper as well. And then heads back this way. You see that as this is happening, Oz pulls out a pack of cigarettes from his lapel, pops one out of the package, and then lights it using some sort of cantrip, and then closes the pack and puts it away. You see as Oz begins to look around and smoke in this space, he just gestures to the two people here who are here to give testimony, and kind of goes, and the two of you are only traveling, visiting. What's kind of the deal here? We needed to find you. What was after the hearing? We just want to make sure that we're keeping track and tabs. Don't all speak at once.
The two people that they're talking about, Ilokas and me.
Yes.
Tourist.
You're a tourist.
Yes. I came to see the sights and found a little bit of work on the side.
You see he pulls out a notebook and begins writing some of this down. All right, well. And you, Honorable Ilukas?
Ilukas just kind of gestures their hands, just how do I just say this? Fuck, I don't know how to say it. They're just kind of walking, seeing. This is what they're gesturing, waiting.
You see that Oz takes a second, and then Oz looks back over at Blair and goes, "Oh, Blair, my apologies. The Honorable Ilikas actually is going to be on the arraignment panel. Ilikas, if you'll follow me, I'll show you to your station." And he begins to head off towards the actual stands where the judges sit. And he kind of shows you'd be sitting in the chair next to him here as he's kind of presenting to you.
Now, this Blue Crown guy, is he that guy at the beginning's father?
They did refer to him as Blue Crown Senior, so there is a presumption there that he is of relation, yes.
Okay, and he's not on my list.
No.
Okay.
Goddamn.
All right.
You see that the old man kind of steps forward and looks around. He walks up to you, Ava, and he places his hands over yours and goes, "Oh, it's so good to see young people doing the work of the city. I'm so happy to have you here. And, don't you worry. That young girl you brought with you, she's being taken care of. Right now, she's having all the biscuits she can possibly want."
She has a slight smile, but the moment his hands hit hers, she has a jolt of electricity go down her back. Is how it feels.
Balthazar raises one finger to go, never mind.
Ava, you understand that your effect is actually not active on this person. This person did not attempt to control you or do anything malicious. It looks like this is a sign of respect in his culture.
She understands. I'm pretty sure she's met this guy multiple times, and he's done it to her multiple times. She just not used to touching.
For sure.
And it probably will not get used to touching for a minute.
You see, he then gives you a bit of a farewell, and he walks over to Balthazar. And you see he begins to have a chat with you, Balthazar. And he comes up and he goes, "Now that's some fine craftsmanship. Now, I must ask you before this whole charade begins, you weren't happen to be involved with some sort of job that took place at the bank now, were you?
Oh, with the dragon? I was involved with that, yes. We did our best to save the city, but you know, collateral damage and all.
Right. Collateral damage. That's something to call it for sure. Look, between you and me, it's a lot more than collateral damage, but so many young lives lost in an instant, really. Well, I'm sure we'll hear all about your experience. And you see that he kind of waits a moment to see if you have any questions for him, and then if you don't, he's going to kind of tuck away.
Am I getting the vibe that he's talking about something specific?
No. I mean, you can roll me an insight check if you'd like, but if you're asking just straight up if you understand that from a glance, the answer's no.
I mean, it's just his words in general strike me as purposeful.
Yeah, maybe.
Nah, I got nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, he's hard to read. You, even with a roll of an 11, understand that this old man might be putting on the front of a nice guy.
Mhm.
You've met tons of old people like this guy. They have a tendency to speak themselves into ways that make people endeared to them, but also hide what they're trying to say in some sort of layered context that may be difficult to understand.
Is he also one of the people being questioned?
You don't know yet.
Okay, I'll just be like, "Ugh, you seem so wise and fatherly. Do you have children?"
Oh, yes, I have multiple children. My current eldest son is missing. And his youngest, I think, is also missing. They had something to do with that dreadful business in the mines. But it's all behind us now. We're looking for them, obviously, but with so many dead, it's hard to presume that he was the only one.
Truly, this city has gone through many tragedies. I do hope you find them soon. To lose a child is dreadful. Please sit. And I'm going to offer the seat next to me.
Oh, no, I have a seat. You see, it's up there. And he points to the center chair at the like magistrate's desk.
Oh, I so look forward to continuing this conversation. Please.
You see he pulls out he has a bunch of candies on him, and he pulls out a candy like he's gonna hand it to you. And he goes, "Oh, you probably don't eat these, huh? Oh well. You just give this to Ava for me now, won't you?" You see as he steps off.
With like 2 fingers, I like grab it by the wrapping and stick it into my coat pocket.
And you see he begins to make his way up the stand. Ava, you're talking to your sister. Your sister kind of steps over to kind of have a conversation with you. What do you guys talk about?
Let's see. It's like you didn't really send me off here with a lot of instructions, sister.
My apologies. Look, you know how our business is. Sometimes I can't afford to tell you all the details.
Yes, yes.
But I'm glad that you were able to find at least some of the people I sent you to find.
Me too. And she's like fidgeting with her hands. Like there was a slight incident at the inn.
An incident? What type of incident?
And she looks over at Balthazar and looks back over at her sister and goes,
He didn't hurt you, did he?
"No, but I think I'm getting worse, sister."
You're getting worse.
Yeah, she like
Um,
unrathers her hands and shows her like her claws are getting bigger or larger.
Oh, um, oh, well, um, um, we can take you to the local apothecary after this and see if they have some sort of salve or something for it. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly how to help with that particular affliction, but, I'm sure there is something I can do. You see she begins to look around. And she looks back to you and she goes, "But other than that, are you all right?"
I'm fine. She kind of just, I guess, like tries to calm herself down with her hands. Just
How did you guys get here so quickly? I thought the place I sent you to find them was halfway across town.
a teleportation circle.
Oh, yes. I see. Well, leave it to nefarious individuals who may or may not be rogue agents of death to teleport people across the town in an instant, huh?
And she kind of just, well, he was the one that drew it, so.
Right. Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Is there anything I can get you now, though? That, help you?
I don't think anything can help me right now. It's
Okay, well,
just a lot. I'll have to tell you later. There's a lot.
sure. Yeah, when we go back later to the end, you can have all of this this conversation. It's okay. I'm gonna go take my seat, and we're gonna go ahead and I guess get started with some of the interviews while we wait for the rest to arrive. Is that okay?
Yes. Where do you want me to sit?
Oh, you'll just hang out. You can go sit in one of the side chairs outside of the investigatory type of ring here.
Okay.
We just don't want them to confuse you with a witness.
Oh.
This is how we'll refer to that.
Oh,
Yeah, she's mentioning like the tables, the stack of chairs and tables outside. It looks like
Okay.
that's where people just kind of sit.
Okay.
As you get up to leave, you see Blair goes over to talk to Balthazar. And Balthazar, I don't know if you have anything specific to say to Blair, but Blair will kind of just come up and exchange kind of formalities with you before dismissing themselves, unless you have something specific to mention to them.
Not that I can think of. I mean,
Okay.
I guess we would just exchange that, like she's Eva's sister, and I would just kind of nod and take that in.
Cool. No worries. You see that Blair kind of looks at you and she goes, "Well, good luck to you, and I hope that you have a pleasant stay." And you see she kind of wanders off to go basically stand next to the arraignment desk here. And you see she takes a seat at the very end of this kind of delegation of tables here.
Mhm.
You see that the old man begins to like preside a gavel over the rest of this chamber as he slams it down. And you hear the loud clanging sound. And then he begins to speak up within this hollowed space here. Well, I guess we can start with the facts. Seeing as Balthazar is one of the few witnesses that have arrived for attendance, we can go ahead and conduct your interview. Lorik and Carissa, go ahead and make me, we'll call it dexterity saving throws.
All right. Do I get Chris's paladin bonus?
Yes, you guys would.
Is that a
be
+2
able
or
to use-
+4, Carissa?
It's a +3.
Gotcha. Dex saving throw.
boy.
All right, 30.
Okay.
Do I succeed?
I think you do. Very much so.
Good. Evasion, 0
Oh
damage.
boy.
25.
25. Cool. You both come flying out of the painting lying on the floor. And with a 25, you guys are in the general vicinity of this location here. I will let you place your character token somewhere near there. Keep in mind you are drenching wet.
Wonderful.
Delightful. Oh, I got kicked out. Hold on.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. I'll just throw you up here somewhere and you can figure out where you want to be when you come back.
That works.
Cool.
Can you drop a temporary NPC for Seraph on the board for me?
Yeah,
Thank you.
I can indeed. Let's do...
Doesn't need to have the stats or anything. I just need to know the range.
The range. Oh, like from you to them? Yeah.
Yep.
Mm. One second. Show. And then token. Token, Seraph's small, right?
Yes.
Okay. Give me 1 second to edit. Oh. Now, why didn't you change? Okay. Token. It won't let me change the size of the token to small. Cringe.
If you give me sharing permissions, I can mess with it.
Okay. There you go, Laura.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, I can drop the token down. But I can play.
Oh, well, let me throw the token down then. You can play with it then. Does that work? Did you get that?
Yeah, there you go.
Cool. The two of you come flying out of the painting. Balthazar, you see that they come out drenching wet, and both kind of land in this area here. The rest of the courtroom kind of looks around a bit startled. And the two of you look up, and you guys are in a courtroom.
Ah, Lorik, my old friend. And Balthazar's gonna like wander over to them and kind of like pick Lorik up off the floor.
Before I let you do that, I would like to make either an insight or perception check to figure out what the hell is going on.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me an insight check or some sort of investigation check. Kind of put 2 and 2 together.
Oof.
22 for insight.
God damn.
Did you want me to also roll an investigation, or?
No, you could just roll one or the other.
Gotcha.
With an insight check, you are in a courtroom, 100%. You can see that the stranger that you met is also here, kind of up in the stands next to some other people up on the like dais up there. And the painting is here on the floor, seeming as somebody may have grabbed this painting, brought it here, and then you guys fell out into the court.
All right. I'm gonna make a save for myself. Okay. Before Balthazar was able to get within 5 feet of me, I stepped back immediately from them. Sopping wet, I immediately I just sort of stepped backwards away from him, put my hands towards him, just don't touch me.
Man, everybody.
Why
with
are we
their
here?
touching. These fine gentlemen would like to ask us some questions as to what's going on in the city. I believe we were just about to get started. Balthazar is going to kind of snap his fingers and is going to cast Prestidigitation to get all the water off you.
Right. I'm going to have Shade roll or Seraph roll a stealth check here.
Okay.
This number is wrong. It's going to be a +12 to whatever this roll is. So 15.
Okay.
And I'm going to have them try to duck underneath the table nearby.
Okay. Seraph ducks under a table. Cool. So you guys come out of the painting. Balthazar kind of comments to Lorik here. Chris, are you back, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. You also appear in the courtroom, where you can see Lorik is kind of chatting with Balthazar here.
Lovely.
I sort of just dust myself off for a moment. Slowly, it's pretty easy to tell for the rest of you. Lork's not happy at the moment. I just slowly turn my way towards the sitting judges, or whatever you want to call them. Slow blink of the eyes. Certainly. How can we help?
Oh, how wonderful. Some of the other entourage has arrived. Well, you see, we are trying to get to the bottom of what happened in this city exactly over the last week or so. And various different sources have appointed, multiple individuals, of, different calibers. With the aid of a young girl that, Miss Ava brought, with her to our city, we were able to identify some key members of some of the goings-on, and we are here to figure out exactly how involved the rest of you were. So, anybody who wants to make an insight check or some sort of, like, thing to maybe glean what that might mean, can do so.
You know it.
Oh,
Alright.
snap.
He's talking about
Yeah,
hope.
thing.
There's only one child you know in the entire world who would maybe be able to glean that type of information, considering that you are a man of many different faces. He's talking about hope.
Aww. Yeah, I don't know shit. I rolled an 8.
Balthazar has never met Hope, so I don't think I can even roll this.
Yeah. But yeah, you see that the old man mentions that Ava brought hope to the city. And just kind of continues into his escapade. Well, I've assembled a small council to judge whether or not any of you party members are, how shall we say, guilty or unguilty, the general brand. So without further ado, we're here to take some testimony. And then perhaps from there, we'll maybe convene some sort of, some trial, if we find any of this stuff to be, more serious than we considered.
Of course.
Is there any issues from the attending parties?
No. None at all.
And you, dearie, in the shiny armor, are you alright?
I believe so. I didn't intend to be thrown in and out of a painting, and I just shoot Lorik a look of mild annoyance.
I don't even see you.
It's really just the table talking at this point. Balthazar casts Prestidigitation on Carissa as well. Clean her up.
Thank you.
Cool. You see that the magistrate looks around, and he kind of gives a soft kind of scan of the room. Looks back to the three of you in the center here and basically goes, well, I have to understand that the three of you at least entered the bank on the day of the catastrophic failure of security protocols, I should say. And I'm curious as to what your business was at that bank. All of you need to make a wisdom saving.
Balthazar is so good at wisdom saving throws. Like, really, he's just a legend at it.
You get a +3 from being near Carissa.
And you guys get a +3.
That's
As well.
awesome.
Is it 10 feet? 15 feet? What's the distance? In
Pretty
Well,
sure it's.
Cool.
Let's look real quick.
I want to say 10 off the top of my head.
I want to say it's 10 as well, but we'll take a look.
Oh, that's really
Yeah.
good.
Range area
believe-
is
yeah.
60 feet.
Hey.
No, there's no way.
15-foot sphere. So, it looks
22?
like it's 60-foot casting radius from where the caster is to a 15-foot circle, basically. You see there's a placement kind of near you all.
Oh,
Of
sorry.
this-
I was asking about Carissa's.
10 feet, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 10 feet. I'm fairly strong. I'm triple checking that, but
All right, I thought you were asking about the spell. I was like, oh.
Yeah. You're like 60 feet, and I'm like, I know that's wrong.
No, there's no way. Yeah, no. What I mean is that the caster only has to be within
Yep.
60 feet of where he casts Summer
I understand.
Gotcha. How are we doing on wisdom?
The 22.
Okay.
22.
25.
Balthazar, you have a 22?
Because I'm
Plus
within. I'm
Oh,
within.
oh shit. Hell yeah.
I'm not, so.
Okay.
Balthazar's
all
gonna
of
like
you
hugging onto her. He's like, I need this.
All of you succeed on this save.
Do I have any idea as to what just passed over us?
If you want to very quickly make an Arcana check, you can.
No, I'm not going to Arcana. I don't think Lorik would know to make an Arcana check.
Balthazar.
yeah.
Will, though. Oh wait, that can't be right. Oh, it is. Okay. Check. 24.
A 24. Cool. Do you know that somebody just tried to cast Zone of Truth?
Okay.
Good to know.
Cool.
Feature reference. Zone of Truth doesn't work for me.
Oh, very interesting.
Darn elves.
It has nothing to do with being an elf.
Yeah.
What?
There's a different.
Mm.
Anyway. Cool. So all of you succeed. You are unaware. Well, I guess Balthazar would be the only one who rolled for it. So Balthazar, you are aware that the caster knows you guys succeed.
Okay.
So the caster knows his spell did not take effect. You see that Mr. Blue Crown Senior has asked you all why you guys were at the bank.
Well, Lorik is our leader. Lorik, why were we at the bank?
As you
I
may
would-
know, we had entered with our good friend Mal, and I was looking to make a withdrawal under their name.
And this Mal character is from Valdian, correct?
I couldn't say. It's a relatively new acquaintance.
I see. So you randomly follow new acquaintances just into banks?
I wasn't following him. He invited me inside.
And you took that as an invitation from a stranger?
It wasn't a stranger. We've known him for a couple days, but
Oh,
Otherwise, yes.
my apologies. Yes, anyone you've met for a couple days is less than a stranger.
Well.
So you enter with this gentleman named Mal to go and what? Withdraw from an account?
That was the plan, yes, before everything went to shit.
And how did everything, as you said, go to shit?
Well, the floor started shaking for one thing. Terrible cries of terror from beneath, and well, just pure panic from those within. It was a quick evacuation of the store. The bank.
Make me a deception check.
Absolutely. $23.
Cool. Cool. You can continue.
And well, when the shaking began, we knew to hightail out of it. It was incredibly severe at the point in time, and we managed to run out of the bank there and make our way down into the city. As you know, all hell broke loose after that. I'm sure I don't need to explain to you about the fog and the creatures within. And
I'm so sorry. What was your name again, youngster?
Nerlin.
Nerlin. Well, are you compatriots here with this, Balthazar?
I slow turn towards Balthazar. With the edge of my voice, just hardly.
But you are compatriots, correct?
Unfortunately, for the time being.
Very well. Balthazar mentioned something about a dragon? How does a dragon play into your story?
We heard such cries from beneath. There's some rumors being spread amongst the other civilians, but...
Oz, can you read back the recording you made? Oz quickly flips to a page in his book and goes, and I quote, yes, we fought the dragon. That's what Balthazar said.
Balthazar, why would you lie to them like that? I understand you seek glory and valor, but surely you wouldn't lie under threat of oath, would you?
Balthazar's like cleaning, like he's like using one of his claws to clean like another like talon, and he's like, lie? What? Why would I lie? That's what happened.
That's what I'm asking you. You come with tall tales of a dragon? We're in a bank, for Christ's sake.
I mean, I may not be the wisest member of our party, but I mean, if it breathes fire and has scales,
Did you hit your head? Do you
possibly
need medical help?
I don't think a mechanic would probably be more helpful at that point, but
That's
I mean,
right, you did catch on fire earlier today.
I'm very confused. Are we not telling them about the dragon?
I don't know what dragon you speak of.
What about the demon?
Your Honor,
Oh, a
I
demon, you say?
apologize.
And-
I think my friend here, friend in quotes there, appears to be malfunctioning.
His memories seem intact, from what I can tell.
A dragon and a demon in a bank?
Will you continue with your story, and we'll assess its truth afterwards?
I'm not sure what else there is to say. We'll
All
get out
right,
of there.
fine. The middleman, Balthazar, will you please give us a recount of the tale that occurred within the bank? And maybe you should start with why you followed this man Mal in, if he's only an acquaintance.
Balthazar looks over to Carissa and
No, they can't save you now. Go ahead and give your testimony.
Balthazar kind of like steeples his fingers and kind of like clacks them together and like is like,
Young man, the truth will set you free. Please, out with it.
I am
Look
now
like we're
feeling like the
burdening you.
truth might get me locked up. But well, if I remember correctly, in order, I was hired by Mal to help him retrieve an item in the bank. I think that's correct. And in said process, we met evil people in the bank who were doing shenanigans. And then we fought the evil people. One of them was a legendary assassin who was trying to kill people of high esteem. And then he unleashed a dragon, and there was a bunch of demons. I think all of that is correct. And then Balthazar looks over at Carissa and Lorik and is like, is that not what happened? I also got blown up by a wand, so I may have...
You see, he casts the spell Silence.
Hmm.
Lorik looks at you confused, Balthazar.
You see, he looks, and as you guys are within the silence spell, you see he drops it. He goes, now, I want to ask a couple clarifying questions to you, Balthazar. You said you were in the vaults to retrieve an artifact that Mal had sent you to acquire. What artifact were you seeking?
That's a good question.
And it
If I
has an
remember
answer,
correctly,
I
it was a
presume.
necklace.
A necklace? Go ahead and give me a deception check.
Deception. 26.
A necklace. What type of necklace were you looking for?
It was silver. It had sapphires in it. I don't think it was magical or anything. I think it was just sentimental to him.
I see. So you descended into the vaults, and then what happened?
We ran into a group of cultists, I think I said that. And then they had a demon with them, and we all fought. And when he says fought, he goes like with like finger guns.
Mm-hmm.
And then the demon did some voodoo shit and awoke an ancient, like, undead dragon.
I see. Well, that's quite the tale. Young lady, what is your name?
Carissa.
Well, young Carissa, could you please give me the account of your tale?
Well, just as the other two have stated, we joined our companion Mal to go down to his vault and retrieve an item. While we were down there, seemingly chaos just kind of exploded and ensued. And we were forced to more or less fight for our lives. And we narrowly were able to escape back to the surface of the city where complete chaos had broken out.
And, the matters of this dragon, did you fight a dragon while you were in our vault?
It appeared that there may have been. However, I don't think that...
There may have been a dragon. So, a big winged beast shows up and you go, oh, I don't know if that's a dragon.
It took the form... It may have taken the form of a dragon, but I don't believe that it is, I don't think it exists anymore. Even if there was one, or whatever shape it took. Whatever it was, I don't believe it exists anymore.
And what makes you so certain that the dragon does not exist?
I mean, if it had existed, would it not have been wreaking havoc on the city these past few days?
You see that he presses his fingers against the bridge of his nose. Look, I'm just simply trying to understand what happened within the vaults of the bank. And as far as I'm concerned, you're the bridge between the two stories. So Lorik says you didn't even fight anything and you ran away. And the other man says you did. And now you're telling me that you may or may not have fought a dragon and you don't know which. So which is it? This is a group deception check. And you are at disadvantage because the three of you have told a different story.
Just considering having my Patriots here plea insanity. Potentially making a check by myself. Perhaps against the party.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
If you would like to do so, I will not forbid you from doing so.
Yeah, sure.
You said deception.
Still be a disadvantage, but
Disadvantage?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sad. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
okay.
So mine's a 15.
Question, really quick. If I
Yeah.
use that inspiration, can I use that natural 20 that is in my disadvantage, or do you want me to just roll again?
Evens or odds?
Odds.
Never tell me the odds.
Okay. I'll let you use the 20.
All right, 29.
Cool.
Okay, question as well.
Answer.
Since I rolled a disadvantage, I rolled twice. Can I use a luck point to use my first roll instead of my second, or do I need to use a luck point to then roll again and choose between my second roll and the third roll?
Technically speaking, luck only replaces a roll. So like you would have to pick a roll that you want to replace.
Oh, okay.
But that means you could subsequently roll both dice, go, oh, the first one was shit, I'll roll it again, just to maybe get a better number. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to use a luck point to re-roll my second roll, because my second roll was shit.
Cool.
Are you fucking kidding? Okay, sorry, language.
Are you okay?
That is a 13.
13. So, Balthazar got a 15, and Carissa got a 14. Or 13, sorry. Lorik, what do you say?
So the judge was asking Carissa for clarification as the bridge between the two of us, correct?
Yes.
As the judge begins asking this question, Lorik sort of just takes one step forward, just presenting themselves as a speaker here. Your Honor, I'm honestly not too familiar with these people here. They were, well, met around the same time as Mal, and I have no clue what they're speaking about. I swear upon my life that it was simply chaos within. I saw no such thing as dragons or demons within. I can only plead insanity for my compatriots here, as they appear to have gone under some intense mental stress in the time being. We've lost a friend in the fog, you see. She disappeared and hasn't returned since. Her name was Dawn. I fear it may have affected them more so than myself.
And Balthazar and Carissa, what does your group defense look like?
Balthazar looks to Carissa and then looks to Lorik and is like, I don't know what's going on here, but there is some kind of conversation that I'm not involved in. So Balthazar kind of just says, well, I can only say what I saw. Now, I will also mention I was exploded by a lightning bolt while I was down there. So I may be off base. But, I mean, as far as I could tell, the tunnels are still there, so you could send an investigatory team to see who's right and wrong in this case. I have been as honest as honest can be, and I believe my compatriot Carissa is also being as blatant as can be foretold. And we were asked to come here, and we did in fact present ourselves. And my good friend is probably putting it strongly, but newly met friend, I guess, Eva, can attest that we did not resist them at all. Is that not right, Eva?
She just looks out at you, looks back at her sister, and just stares at like, I'm not being questioned here.
Young Miss Ava, would you please provide a supporting or, disadvantageous character solution for this claim?
She stands up. No, they did not resist.
Well, there you have it. See, we are being, I think, incredibly,
Unless you say jumping into a painting is resisting.
I would, I mean, Carissa can attest that we have been trying to get that fixed in the hotel for at least a week. Right? That's a known it's a known problem in the hotel that many of the paintings will take you to bizarre quasi dimensions. That's not on us. That's actually on Poe, and we will have very strong words with him when we return to the hotel. That I can assure you. But I think we have been incredibly useful to this investigation and have given you quite a bit of evidence that that your city's not as safe as it should be. That's all I have to say on that subject.
If I may add on as well, the only reason I was in the painting is because I have maybe possibly fallen into that painting before, so I am aware, and I'm aware of what's in that painting, and I simply went in to chase after our friend here, to bring him out, so we could end up coming here, but it seems Balthazar took the initiative and just simply brought the painting with him, which I will admit was creative, but I was trying to save our other party member from falling into the painting first.
My apologies, Your Honor, and Ava. I had heard tale of the painting from our friend here, Carissa, and had hoped to experience it myself, not realizing I would be trapped with it.
You see that the old man on the stand just sits for a moment, looking out at all of you. You see he turns to look over at his panel. Well, perhaps, maybe I should be not the only one to speak at this hearing. Honorable Ilukas, what types of questions might you have for these potential naysayers?
So I went to the restroom real quick, and I just came back.
Yeah, no worries.
I came back to them explaining why they were resisting arrest, I guess, or like resisting whatever.
Mhm.
What did you say right before that?
They basically talked about their journey into the vaults and why they were there, and he got 3 conflicting stories, and then Lorik basically rolled a hell of a check to try to convince everybody that the other 2 are crazy, and that they are hallucinating or having some sort of issue due to the nature of the attack, and that they ran away and did not fight a dragon. While the other 2 are claiming that, okay, well, we showed up here unattested, and we're here in your courtroom, so, like, maybe you should take what we have to say with understanding that we're not trying to fuck you over.
Well, I'm assuming that Lorik's character succeeded in the deception, so I believe them? Question mark.
I mean, you can roll an
You beat-
insight, but if you don't roll a natural 20, then it ain't happening.
All right.
Beat insight of 29.
Well, let's see.
Mhm.
No.
I think you are persuaded by the fact that it seems to line up with the fact of how these people act, that they might be a little crazy.
Okay. Lying through my teeth is crazy.
I was just informed something that I think is so perfect. We'll talk about it later then.
Oh gosh.
I think Ilikos will shake their head as they're convinced that two of them are crazy and one of them is not crazy? Question mark.
One of them is more sane than the other two, is what it seems
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, less crazy. Less insane.
Wait, which one's the insane one?
You know what? I'll leave that for you to decide. Yeah, I don't think they really would have any questions. They're just listening and taking mental notes.
You see that Blue Crown Senior looks over at you and goes, "So, I take it no questions from the Office of Preemptory Catastrophic Deviation? What about you, Mr. Oz? Any questions?" Oz opens his notebook and goes, I have a couple questions. If these people who you say entered within the bank, as you may have loosely called them friends, where are they now? Where is this Mao? Why is he not here speaking to his own behalf, corroborating whatever story is left here?
We have
Do you
been
know
looking
where this
for Mao.
person's whereabouts are?
No, we've been in the fog for quite some time. Only recently making our way out and to our temporary stay at the Nevermore. We haven't seen him since.
Narrowland, was it?
Correct.
You have to understand what you're asking me to believe. A couple days ago, an event took place within that vault, shook the very foundations of this city, and released toxic fumes into the city populace. A onslaught of horrendous creatures have ransacked the city day and night since those tremors were felt within the vault. Now, I should implore all of you very quickly to understand here, this is not a hearing of guilt. We're not investigating you currently. If you give us reason to investigate you here, we certainly will. Now, you are wearing a guard uniform, so I must ask you, are you a member of the city guard?
To be fair, I probably would have changed my appearance, knowing that Eva was at the door.
Okay.
Before we went in, because, as you know, that is part of Lorik's habitual
Yeah.
thing.
What would you have changed into?
In the exact moment of Eva knocking on the door and presumably Lorik being a bit preoccupied within the painting, Lorik is probably taking on typical adventuring garb, just simple leather armors.
Cool.
But there's no way he shows up in a court in full leather armor or in full guard armor.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure. But, we will rewind just a second. He looks over to you and he goes, now, in front of me, I have a stack of reports from local bureaus of investigators and the local police department. And several of them have given me a description of a man who matches you specifically. The colors are maybe not the same, the hair is slightly different, but All of that is abstract. Testimony that could or could not be forgotten in the heightened times of danger. So, I have a question for you, Mr. Nerlin. Were you or were you not engaged with multiple bureaus of peacekeepers within the city during the times of these attacks? And if so, to what extent were you involved?
Bureaus of peacekeepers, you mean like guards?
Yes, peacekeepers. They wear the armor with the suits and the helmets. They carry around firearms.
Apologies, I hadn't heard of the term. Beyond being assisted by them through the fog and being led to the Nevermore, I don't believe I was of any assistance.
Go ahead and roll me a deception check again.
Can I give him advantage because I would like to also mention that Lorik was helping to save citizens at several points.
Well, Lorik is advocating that he did not save citizens.
Oh, never mind. I will keep my mouth shut.
Lorik is saying that he went strictly back to where he was supposed to be and did not do anything outside the abstract.
17.
What is your passive perception?
My passive perception is 21.
You see he very quickly makes a note within his note. That's disappointing.
My
So-
apologies, I may have been able to help the citizens, but I was more focused on getting myself to safety first.
Well, I'm sure we'll find who it was eventually. They seem to have a knack with shadows. He gives you a glaring look.
Say nothing.
All right. So, all of you eventually arrive back at your hotel. What do you do from there?
I mean, we mostly just drank tea. We had some conversations.
So you guys didn't go ransack a local bar?
I don't remember going to a... Did we go to a bar?
Did he say bar or barn?
Bar. B-A-R.
I mean, we certainly didn't ransack anything.
You wouldn't call a dead body on the floor with the fist-sized hole stuck through its chest ransacking to some degree?
I mean, we didn't go to a bar. I mean, we didn't go to a bar, did we?
I have no recollection of making my way to a bar.
I mean, I certainly don't drink.
Do you find this funny, Mr. Balthazar?
The association of me with a bar is humorous.
Comical?
Yes.
Yes. We're talking about the deaths of hundreds of thousands of civilians over the course of about a week. So maybe we shouldn't be laughing in a courtroom where people are deciding whether or not you should be actively investigated. Have I made myself abundantly clear?
Crystal.
Perfect. I'm glad we have come to an agreement. I'm going to ask you one more time, because my next line of order is going to be calling said witnesses, like a bartender from said bar, to come up here to the stand and formally accuse all of you at being at said bar. Do you want me to list a description of the evening that you had, the night you went to said bar? I could do so. Or are we going to have the truth? Something that this group seems so adamant not to provide.
I'm looking at my notes real quick.
You
A
guys went to the
bartender, you
Thieves
say?
Guild, if you remember.
That can
Yeah.
positively identify all three of us at the bar? That we most certainly weren't at? This would be astounding. Especially considering I don't believe that bar even exists. And if it did, I'm certain that it wouldn't, I don't know, contain several of the city guard who were taking bribes, several unsettling individuals whom are known criminals throughout the land. I would dare say this bartender would be brazen to step before such honorable gentlemen and ladies of this jury and provide evidence that would corroborate the existence of said bar and the existence of several unsettling folk.
Mm.
So you can provide this person.
I don't
I'm
have it
giving
in my
Lorik a
notes.
second to look through his notes.
I don't have it in my notes. You tell me if you remember me disguising before walking into the thieves.
Lorik is a very careful individual. I would say it was probably pretty clear that you probably were not yourself when you went into the bar.
I
Specifically
remember
because you were there
disguising.
investigating Shanant.
Yes, I remember disguising as a run-of-the-mill Thieves Guild member because
Yeah.
I went in by myself at first.
So, I think the person here is standing on the stand of, well, the two of these people were there, so probably you as well. You have the idea that he's speaking in generality, but not like to the extent of like, I can positively ID all three of you.
Yeah,
He
I
can
needed to know for
definitely-
what I'm going to
yeah.
do in the future.
Sure, go ahead.
No, you're good. No, I wanted to find out if I had actually disguised or not, but it wasn't in my notes because I don't write it down every time.
Carissa, do you have anything to add to the defense Balthazar has laid out in this court?
I don't think so. I don't think there's
Don't think
anything
Okay.
I can add.
I mean, all I'm saying is I'm questioning the validity of an individual who works at a non-existent bar.
And
I'm sure you would. I'm sure you would.
while I cannot account for the actions of those with me today, I can assure you I was at no such bar.
Likely story. Coward who runs from a bank also doesn't go to a bar that has some less than reputable guests, I will agree. I can understand
As
the
you may
first.
call it cowardly, but it's called survival. For what reason
Well-
would I have to stay during what at the time I presumed to be an earthquake?
Well, actually, I don't know about the whereabouts of my party members here, but I will admit that I was traveling with another, and we were trying to briefly stay out of the fog, so we did stop by a bar for a short while. My friend went off to do something, and she never returned, and it got late, so I left. I made my way back to where we were staying after that.
Can you give me a description of this friend of yours?
Oh God, what does she look like? Shit.
Maybe this will ring a bell? Young elven woman with long black hair. Mute to some degree, no tongue. Wore white dress with some sort of overcoat of some kind. Looked to be gray in nature. And appeared to be wearing run-of-the-mill shoes. Does that description positively match your friend?
Yes, I had
Mhm.
described before we lost our friend Dawn. I haven't seen her.
Sure.
in
You
a long
mentioned
time.
you lost her in the fog. So if you lost her in the fog, and this is the same friend that your compatriot Carissa went into this bar with, then how could you have lost her within the bar?
I didn't know my friend went into a bar. They went out into the fog together and one came back. My apologies if I wasn't clear, but that to me believed it was lost to the fog.
I see.
We haven't been able to sit down, the three of us, and recount all of our individual perspectives of the past few days. It's been quite chaotic. She
yes.
got up and said she was going to check on something, and I didn't see her again. We had always had a plan to, if any of us got separated, we would all meet back up at our spot. So that's what we did, and we haven't seen her since. We just assumed that she was taken in the fog on the way back.
So you made an assumption. Any other strange individuals who happened to be at this bar that evening?
There was one that approached and spoke with me for a short while and then left. I left very shortly after.
I see. What a mess. What a mess indeed. What do you think? He looks over to Blair. Blair is not very good at hiding her emotion. Blair looks disappointed. I'm sorry, Mr. Bishop and Mr. Blue Crown Senior. Perhaps maybe I should have conducted the investigation myself before I brought them into this courtroom, hoping they would glean answers positively. And for that, you may file some appeal with the Drake Wardens, and I will own that mistake.
If I may, what was in the bar that may or may not exist that has you concerned? Because if you're bringing us and asking us questions about the bar that may or may not exist, you've got some kind of evidence to have a reason to be concerned about it.
For a person who didn't visit said bar, you seem awfully curious about its contents.
It's an interesting way to answer that question. I wonder. Balthazar takes a step forward, and he's very much focused on Eva's sister.
Mm-hmm.
There may or may not have been some criminals in that bar that we may or may not exist, one of which may or may not have had a bounty on their head. Someone known for doing criminal activity of a less than reputable nature, a cursed individual. Is this person of concern to you?
Balthazar, I appreciate your concern about business for local bounties, but this person that you speak of, I'm unaware of a name that might alleviate some sort of bounty that I might be looking for. But there's a lot of this, that, and if-theys going around, and
well, I mean, it seems to me that we are being questioned for a specific reason. Your city gets attacked. You're looking for someone to blame. You see 3 people of a less than clear motives, and it seems to me that you're looking for someone to blame, and you might be picking us.
Are you accusing me of profiling you, Mr. Balthazar?
Well, if the badge fits. But more importantly, let's stay on topic. You want to know who shot up your city, who's responsible. We, as far as I can tell, and as far as I'm aware, have done nothing but attempted to secure a bounty for a friend of ours. And you think that we might have had something to do with the destruction of your city. And in fact, we have had nothing to do with it. In fact, we've even helped your city by alleviating you from several entities that were in the bank. Now, why we were in the bar that may or may not exist seems to me to beg the question of why you would even ask. I mean, we've done you a favor. We are adventurers.
I'm going to stop you right there, Mr. Balthazar, before you say something truly concerning. You think that an adventurer entering a town and then creating a disturbance and killing people on their own behalf is a favor to the local guard and the Drake Wardens? I wouldn't call it a favor.
Well, I mean,
I'm
perhaps
not done talking, sir. I've heard quite enough out of you. You tend to ramble and insert yourself and accuse me, a loyal deputy of the Drake Wardens, a knight, if you will, of this nation, that I have somehow besmirched my honor and accused you without any basis of information? Do you understand what it is Mr. Oz does for the city? He's not a man who simply levies charges against people based on baseless claims. So I ask you one last time, you all should do your best to come clean in this moment. And if you don't, I can't save you from the future that might befall you. I've heard quite enough of this, Mr. Blue Crown. I'll be taking my leave.
Balthazar is going to look over at Carissa and Nox and Lorik.
Come on, buddy.
Lorik.
It's on the side
He's going to look over at Lorik and he's going to like shrug and just be like, "What's the play?"
Lorik gets down on one knee, lowers his head to look at the floor, and goes, Your Honor, I've been nothing but truthful during this investigation. I apologize for the confusion we may have caused, but I am more than willing to answer any questions you have.
It's tough to decide what I should do. Do you understand the predicament I'm in?
I can only hope to.
You see that Mr. Blue Crown pipes up. Yes, it seems as though we have reached, a bit of a weird lull in the trial. Sorry, not a trial, a hearing. My bad, I heard it myself. You all, at first glance, seem to have good-natured intent behind your... how do I say it? Your abilities. But, I might add, it's very peculiar that all of you entered this city at the same time, with a similar objective, and had maintained company throughout all of this, despite your disillusioned cohesion. It feels as though you are not even merely a party.
Oh, I killed myself.
So, I'm going to pose the question to you one more time. What brought you to my city? Please, I just want the truth.
Lorik and Nox need to think about this for a moment. Why did we originally come here?
We traveled to the city to help a friend find something that had been taken from him. We didn't know that all of this would happen while we were here.
A friend, you say? And this friend's name is?
Hold on. Bregan needs a minute. Hold on.
Presumably Findamir.
Dun.
Is that who you're searching for?
I think so.
Yeah, it was Fenrir. He's the one that wanted the necklace.
Findamir wanted something different, but
Oh, but it doesn't matter. I'm not talking.
his full name is Findamir Cypress.
That's okay. I had started to shorten his name so I could write faster.
Yeah.
We were asked to help Findamir Cypress find something that had been taken from him.
Findamir Cypress. Huh. It's been a long name since I've heard that. A long name. I'm losing it. Jesus. It's been a long time since I've heard that name. And, how is it that you came into the company of Mr. Cypress?
That was actually that one
you're
was
on our
truly
right.
so that was by chance. Truly.
I met her daughter, or his daughter.
I see, young love. It truly does affect all generations.
Yeah, something like that.
So you met Mr. Cypress, and he asked you to recover something for him. And then how did you meet Mal? What's the connection there? I'm just not seeing it.
Findamir introduced us to Mal. They said they were old friends. Just why we trusted them.
I see. Well, did Mr. Findamir elaborate on the reason why you might need to come to the city? Obviously, you're recovering something for him, which you will not say, and I do not understand why, but perhaps maybe you can tell us the reason you came.
I need to look at my notes again. I'm looking for it. I know what it... I'm trying to find the specifics on something.
He had a suspicion that what was taken from him was brought to this city that was going to be used for unpleasant reasons. So it was important that we tried to locate the object as soon as possible.
I see. Well, were you successful in recovering said item?
DM, remind me, Veritas,
Mhm.
was that originally in like the fountain? Was it stolen from there, or was it always in the vault?
It was in the fountain
Okay,
at the city.
cool.
Yep.
I wanted to verify that. It's not in my notes, but I thought I remembered it.
Yep.
You may continue, Carissa. I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to say there.
What was the question again? Sorry.
This artifact, did you recover it or not?
We did, and then unfortunately our other party member who disappeared was the one who was in charge of it. And with her disappearance, so did the artifact.
That's not good at all.
It is not.
Mr. Oz, will you please go find me Mr. Findamir Cypress? I would love to speak to an old friend.
Findamir
Oz,
was last staying within the Nevermore.
Oz quickly jots down the Nevermore on his book. And you see he puts his hand up to his temple, and for like a brief second he mutters some words to himself, and then he looks back at Mr. Blue Crown and goes, they should be retrieving him shortly. Excellent. And hopefully he can corroborate your crazy story.
Lord gulps.
Before he is brought here, we must warn you, he was insistent on traveling with us to the city in an attempt to find what was taken from him. He was gravely wounded, and we haven't seen him for a few days. He's been convalescing and healing in his room. So I cannot speak for his sanity, I should say. Or what state of mind he will be in when he arrives.
He had told us that he heard people chanting in the fog, and when he went to investigate, he received the wound of his arm was torn asunder, no longer attached to his person.
That is pretty disturbing news, not gonna lie. Alright, well, add that to the case file, I guess. Is there any other information that we should know about your time here in the city?
I sort of look across the group for a second. I think Lorik is looking to you guys for a piece of affirmation, but you cannot read what he is looking for. You know he wants some sort of agreement, but you don't know what he's asking about. It's just a facial expression.
Balthazar just gonna go grab a chair and he's just gonna sit down. He's exasperated.
There was when we found Fendemir after he had been attacked, there was a very, very powerful poison or some kind of dark magic that was used against him in order to basically save him. The arm had to be amputated. We somehow were able to save his life. I don't know if that's important along with the cult chantings, but it was a very, very powerful poison. I'm not sure if that's helpful or not, but just so you are aware.
Yeah.
And I didn't write down what the poison was because I technically wasn't the one to figure out what it was.
That's true.
Somewhere.
So you mentioned this poison. You see the council member look around, go, and chanting in the streets. How deplorable.
I believe our friend, before they disappeared, mentioned the poison was Widow's Kiss.
A widow's kiss? That's quite rare. Any of you understand how widow's kiss is made?
Not truly, no. Only that our friend knew it to be incredibly dangerous, and we're lucky Findemir survived.
You are very much indeed, if he is still alive. That's... Oh, so sorry.
Oh no.
Damn.
Dang.
Can you, Ava, also make me a insight check?
Sure.
Sorry, I was messaging Elikas to do it as well, but
I can try.
cool.
I said to try.
Okay. You see this situation kind of unraveling. The gentleman at the magistrate stand, Mr. Blue Crown Senior, looks down and goes, well, the poison is quite hard to come by, but it is quite dangerous. as this happens, you hear the doors from behind you all open. And within, you see that Blair has showed back up with a young girl by her side. And for Carissa and Lorik, you guys would instantly recognize that this young girl is named Hope. And that is where we're going to end this session.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Guys, we might be in a little bit of trouble.
Wander, I hope you're ready to make a new character.
Well,
I got a message from Max about halfway through that. Dude, I'm sweating bullets.
I'm so glad I wasn't the only one like actually stressed and sweating and worried about that.
Bro, when everybody was like, yeah, I'll just tell him whatever I want. And then I was like, but that's not what you said earlier. What the fuck, dude? Like,
no, like that was the thing. I was like, my whole defense is gonna be, oh, we're heroes. We've been saving the city from all this shit. You're welcome. And then Lorik was like, no, we didn't do anything. We didn't see anything. We don't know anything. I'm like, where am I supposed to go with this?
You never talk to the police.
And I was like, well, if there was a dragon, there's not anymore. But that's only if there was a dragon.
No, and then you brought up the bar, and I'm like, well, if we're not gonna be honest about the other thing, how am I supposed to be honest about this bullshit?
Jeez. I'm surprised no one brought up lawyer
That's why I
talk.
told the truth. That's why I told the truth. I was like, okay, because you guys went into the bar and like pretty quickly went to the back. I sat at a table for quite some time and talked to people. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I can play this off as I was at the bar with Dawn. You guys, I don't even know where you were, because if you remember, we did split up right
Why does
before
the bar
that. You guys
exist
got to
or
the
it
bar first.
doesn't? And if he presents a bartender, I can be like, oh, this is a fucking asshole who doesn't actually work at a bar that exists. You guys would know if the bar exists because you would also know that there are criminals at the bar, which you aren't doing anything about. Because if you were to do something about it, then you would have guards there. Oh, but there weren't guards there, right? Because if there were guards there, then they were doing criminal activities at the bar, which you guys apparently don't know about. So either they're fucking idiots, because if the bar exists, then they are consenting to the bar existing.
Lorik has no idea what any of you guys are talking about.
It was just so funny to watch Balthazar get so frustrated with the fact that nobody's fucking telling the truth. These guys basically said, yeah, we know you're lying. And you guys were like, no, we're not telling you parts of the truth.
Yeah.
Lorik is a career criminal. He will never speak with the police.
I know. It's just so funny to me to watch them like literally go, yeah, the gig is up, just tell us the truth. And you guys are like, oh. And then for Max's character, Balthazar, to turn around and go, yeah, and you guys are profiling us.
Jesus.
Just say, Lorik has a knife with all of y'all's names on it.
I do.
You took his name.
Well, technically. Technically.
You served the warrant. You're going
Technically.
down first.
It wasn't a warrant. You're just coming down for a hearing.
I don't think you understand how a career criminal works. I move states, I
just
change names, I get a new identity.
Chilling.
Lukas is probably the only one that's safe.
I'm
Or sorry, I don't
just
know
sitting
what you're
there,
doing
like,
here.
sipping on my appy juice.
My happy juice.
I think my favorite part was whenever Max was like, I forgot we went to the bar. Fuck. Oh,
I
and
honestly
the other
didn't
one,
remember
he
the
was like, I thought it would help. I thought it would help telling the truth because we were doing a favor. Wander was under the impression you guys were going. We're doing the city a favor. I said, about that.
This is great. Y'all are doing so great.
This is stressful. I figure if I tell the truth, then at least one of us is telling the truth, and that gives them enough reasonable doubt to kind of like ignore you two.
Lorik is certain you guys have never dealt with the police before.
If y'all are cool with it, I'm probably gonna end the stream now.
Go for
Go
it.
for it.
Cool.
Bye, stream.
Yeah, say bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Tune in next time when Lorik stabs everybody.
Oh my god.
And then I just
Stop.
watched,
You
sipping my
murder
appy
hober.
juice.
Not a murder hope, but you guys deserved it.
You're Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for joining everyone on the stream. Really do appreciate y'all being here. And tune in Saturday for our regular weekend games with the group. Thank y'all for being here. Hope y'all have a good night. And bye.